Griffin's first down. The first and 10 just inside the Saints 20-yard line. Number 42, Derek Payne makes a tackle for the Saints. Griffin's first down, the first and goal from around the 6-yard line. High snap sails over Cape's head. He will follow the ball at around the 21-yard line. Second and goal from the 21 now.
I didn't understand. Better than ever. Yeah. Great diet. How are you doing? Good. Yeah.
Tape scrambles for a big gain down to the 1-yard line. However, we do see a yellow flag on the field, and sure enough, it's a holding call. Will go against the Griffins. So all that was for naught, and it will be marched back 10 yards from the spot of the infraction. Second goal from the 31-yard line, aka a new cab ride. On the carry, picks up a few yards before he's brought down by Nelson Hughes. Third and goal from just inside the 30-yard line. known as a hydraulic fit. Award-winning concession stand. Cold Coca-Cola, Sprite, Diet Coke, Powerade. So whether you're Republican or Democrat, they have your flavor. Visit our concession stand and quench your thirst.
The season again, they're on a 3-game winning streak. I try to feed my horses and get them to football and see if Drayton can't break one here for a long gain or for potentially a long touchdown run.
Patrick Fox, quarterback in that shotgun formation in the end zone. He's got Drayton to one side, and he does give it to Drayton, who's trying to bounce around, and he fumbles it in the end zone, and that ball is picked up now by Patrick Fox, and this looks like it's just going to end up being a safety, and it is. That's going to be 2 points on the board for the Griffins as the defense comes through, and we saw a little bit of everything on that play. So that's it. The first points of the ball game come on a safety recorded by the Griffins. That's going to put them up 2-0 here at Yana Field over the All Saints Academy Saints.
That's one of the risks you take, Tony. You have a predominantly shotgun offense. You get down inside your own 5 in what we like to call the green zone, basically opposite of the red zone, inside the 20 on your side of the field. Shotgun formation. You have to make sure that your offensive line does a great job of sustaining blocks and give your running back an opportunity to make it out of the end zone. And on that occasion, it was difficult, and Drake was not able to do so.
Well, let's see. Nelson Hughes coming out to kick the ball off after that safety.
I feel fortunate almost if I'm the Saints right there, because that could have been the touchdown. Ball was on the ground in the end zone. Give some credit to Patrick Fox for picking that ball up to make sure that was not a touchdown.
You can give him some credit for that. You can give Patrick a little credit for that. But at the same time, you should just kind of probably fall on that.
I usually kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Out of the back of the end zone, right. Hughes with the kick. That's going to be taken by the Griffins. Kenny Hardy, who gets around the end, and he's got ahead of his blockers a full head of steam as well, and he's going to bring that one all the way back to the Saints' 29-yard line. A big return there. That is Kenny Hardy.
Kenny Hardy, about 6'3", 6'3 and a half, Tony, the sophomore. He's a guy to look out for. He's one of Kenny Tate's favorite receivers on the outside, a big play threat, and that's exactly what he did. That play, taking the punt down the sideline and right back into Saints territory.
We'll take 2 now. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go in this first quarter. Gateway Charter Griffins lead 2-0 on a safety. Tate takes a snap, and he gives it right back up the middle, and not much running room there. Actually, looks like they're going to lose about a half a yard, so you're going to be looking at another 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 here for Tape and his offense.
Great tackle by the junior, number 8, Lance Hammock right there. Big guy across the front of the defensive line. Look for him to make some plays if Gateway tries to run the football.
It's Tape and Thompson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers spread low. Devin Howard. Tape looks, and he's going to go Howard's way as Howard is going down the sideline on a go route. Positioned himself nicely there, Kyle, but may have jumped just a little bit too early.
That's right, Tony. Jumped just a little bit too early. Didn't time it exactly right, but give credit to Dwight. Great throw by Tape. Give credit to Dwight Drayton right there. Going both ways, not only a running back, also a cornerback. Stayed in position and forced a jump ball. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
A long 3rd and 11 here for the Griffins. It seems like they're seeing a little more of that 31-yard line than they've wanted to the last series and a half.
keeping
11 from the 31.
one of their safeties is down, Tony, right now. It gives an opportunity for Tape in the passing game to hit a guy up the seam.
Motion by the receiver, and it's a give down on the right side, and he cuts it back up the middle. That's Mitch Ferrer, the senior, and he picks up a first down. A gain of about 13, 14 yards. So what looked like could have been a loss of about 4 or 5 yards there turns into a 13-yard gain on a great cutback by Ferrer.
Mitch Ferrer did a great job. Interesting play call on 3rd and 11, Tony. But give credit to Mitch Ferrer, making some plays after he was initially contacted. That's going to bring up the first down here.
So here we go again. 1st and 10 from inside the red zone. The Griffins on the 18-yard line. The Saints with their backs against that goal line once again. Tape in the shotgun. Gets a signal. Receiver in motion. Nick Dunkelly. Tape takes it. He drops back, forced out a little bit to the right. He's going to throw what looks like a comeback thrown right there to that front pylon, but thrown a little bit over the head of wide receiver Nick Dunkelly.
Looks like it's going to be pass interference on the offense. He pushed off. Nick Dunkelly pushed off right there, Tony, and that's going to bring him back 15 yards.
This is exactly what happened on the last series. The Saints got down there. They get in close to that goal line, inside the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, and then they just start kicking themselves
unraveling
in their own foot. Yeah, I mean, they're
one thing you don't want to do.
The wrong direction.
One thing you don't want to do against a team like All Saints is give them opportunities to stay in the football game. They're a team that is obviously 4-2 on a 3-game winning streak. The last thing you want to do is give them opportunities to stay in when you have opportunities to really go ahead right now, Tony. 14-0. It's only 2-0, and you're in 1st and 25.
Yeah, the sweat is being wiped off the brow of Coach Gary Tufford right there. Kyle, did you notice the referee right there? I don't know if he was striding, walking off the 15 yards.
Did not notice him.
Or if he was, to me, it's simple math, but maybe he's got some good long strides there doing that for that. Well, on that 2nd down and 35 play, not much there.
Great tackle by the Locke brothers, Spencer and Duncan Locke, both in on that tackle. I guess they know how to work pretty well together, being that they are brothers.
They spend a lot of time. Locke brothers spend a little bit of time on the offensive line, the defensive line, and a lot of time at home as well. Tape, again, finds himself in the backfield. Throwing it up the right side again. And this one is going to be intercepted by the Saints. So once again, the red zone being the dead zone for the Griffins, not being able to punch it in. And now the Saints had the ball on the turnover. First turnover of the ball game.
And here we go again, Tony. We see All Saints backed up on their 2-yard line. They have to sustain blocks on the line of scrimmage to make sure that either Dwight Drayton or Troy McNeil can get that ball out of the end zone, or you could be looking at another safety opportunity. I'm a little bit surprised that Kenny Hardy, the big wide receiver for Gateway, was not in on the last 2 plays, big plays for the Griffins.
Patrick Fox, same formation we've seen all day so far. This time a quick inside give to Drayton, and not much room there. It looks like he may have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10.
If I'm the Griffins, I pin my ears back and blitz the house. All Saints has only thrown the ball about 26 times the entire season, so you know that they're run dominated. Probably going to be a run right here. I'm bringing the house and forcing Patrick Fox to beat me over the top, but the one thing I'm not going to do is give Troy McNeil or Dwight Drayton an opportunity to bust a big play.
Being such a run-orientated team, it's got to make it a little bit easier for the defensive coordinator of Gateway Charter.
Absolutely.
Fox takes the shotgun snap, and what you just said we haven't seen a lot of, Patrick Fox does. Turns, spins, throws it out to his right side, trying to hit Edric Bennett. But it is dropped. And Kyle, I think even if Bennett would have come up with that,
Could have been a safety.
Back was right there, and it looked like it could have resulted in another safety.
Give credit to number 7, Devin Howard for the Griffins, reading that play, faked the screen to the left, turn around, tried to run a backside screen to confuse the defense, and Devin Howard did a great job of sniffing it out, getting downhill, and forcing that to be an incomplete pass.
50 seconds left here in the first quarter. 2-0 is your score. The Griffins lead. The Griffins from Gateway Charter, all the way from Fort Myers, Florida, making the trip up here to Winter Haven. Beautiful Jonna Field. Fox taking the shotgun snap, and he's dropping back to pass again, something we don't see very often. And this time he goes deep, and he had Edric Bennett right there. Bennett just couldn't come down with the football, just a tad overthrown. But I tell you what, that one was going to go the distance, and we would have just been calling a 98-yard touchdown, pass and run, if we had a 6'2" Bennett instead of a 6-foot Bennett.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is a tough part. Usually, Tony, in the punting game, the punter's about 14 yards away from the snapper.
This is trouble right here, I think.
He's about 12 yards away from the snapper now. Look to see if the Griffins
Well, Nelson Hughes has had
get
a
a good
lot of
rush
work tonight. Got to make sure. He's got to make sure that those feet aren't on that back stripe. A lot needs to go right here as far as starts with the snap, and it's a good snap. Nelson Hughes gets a good punt off. Very good punt. Taken by Hardy at the 40, and Hardy's got some speed, blazing, and I think we're going to see a block in the back as Hardy takes it down to about the 25, but that one's going to come back. I'm pretty sure there is a flag on the field.
Looks like they're going to call a block in the back, Tony, but that definitely wasn't a block in the back. These officials do a great job here in FHSAA. Can't agree with that right there. It looked like Devin Howard did a great job of getting on the side or in front for that block, and unfortunately that one's going to go against the Griffins.
Well, here we go again. The laundry was on the field. That means the Griffins are moving backwards. Got to be frustrating for the coaching staff of Gateway Charter. But that means from one electric playmaker, Kevin Hardy, to another in Ronnie Tape. Ronnie Tape, the senior.
Look out.
A good season this year so far, joined by Sean Thompson in the backfield. Watch Kevin Hardy here down on the bottom of your screen. Tape with the inside give to Thompson, and Thompson spins, picks up about, we'll call it about a yard right there, which is going to give him a 2nd and 9, and that might bring us to the close of the first quarter.
Best opportunity, in my opinion, for the success of this Griffins football team is to keep Ronnie Tape on the edge or have him throw it through the air. This defensive line for the Saints is very stout and doing a great job of any type of run trying to go up the middle. Perimeter play is what you want to see from the Griffins.
And there it is. That's the end of the first quarter. A first quarter which we saw a lot of yardage put on the scoreboard, on the score charts, for the Griffins, but not many points. 2-0 Gateway Charter leads here at Jonna Field over the All Saints Academy. When we come back to the second quarter, it's going to be a 2nd and 9 from the 39 for the Griffins.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
1 man.
The Griffins, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Tape with the shotgun. It's going to be, he's got the option, and he does flip it outside, and that's going to go to Nick Dunkelly. And Dunkelly was done right there when he received that pitch, Kyle. The Saints all over him on that option. I think Tate maybe would have gotten a little more yards if he would have decided to keep that one.
Despite the lack of yard gainage right there, Tony, I like what the Griffins are trying to do. I like Ronnie Tate on the edge. I like giving him the option to pitch the football and really trying to spread this Griffins defense out. Those plays later in the game as teams wear down start to open up, so you could see some big plays later on.
Shotgun, Thompson behind Tate. 4 wide receiver set. Kenny Hardy split out right. Tate looks, and he's looking Hardy's way, and that's going to be picked off by the Saints as he takes it, steps in right in front of it, saying, "Excuse me," and he's going to go the distance potentially. Here comes a quick Devin Howard trying to do it, but he cannot, and that is Derek Payne. But we do have some laundry on the field. There's a flag on the field, and it looks like, Kyle, maybe a roughing the passer penalty.
Looks like a roughing the passer or a face mask. Possibly, but Ronnie Tate did a great job. He went down, turned around, and basically sold it to the official. The official responded and threw the flag, but you got to give credit.
Ronnie Tate with a great job there. The senior, I'm sure he's taken drama in his 4 years here at high school. I don't know, Kyle, did you see? I mean, was it a...
It didn't look like it was a roughing the passer. It was close, though, Tony.
Well, the best friend so far of the defense of the Saints, of All Saints Academy, has definitely been the yellow flags held by the guys in the stripes. Mistakes. And you know what? You can't make mistakes like that if you're All Saints. Derek Payne still in the end zone saying, "Hey, I scored."
I don't think he's realized that.
I don't think he knows that they pulled that back. I don't think he knew that there was a rough in the passer. And I don't blame you, Derek Payne. That was a great way. He stepped right in front of that receiver, read Tape's eyes perfectly. I took it all the way down. If I was coach, maybe I'd take a timeout here and make sure you can go ahead and get Derek Payne back in the ballgame.
And that's what they're going to do.
And that's exactly what happens. Coach Gary Tufford taking the timeout.
Looks like he's looking for the football.
Payne still not joining the team. Okay, he was just looking for the football.
Couldn't find his mouthpiece.
Oh, his mouthpiece, okay.
Safety first.
Found his mouthpiece. He's good, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a big swing of events right now. All Saints Academy was looking for some type of momentum switch. Football's a game of momentum, and that was going in the Saints' direction, and there's a obviously big roughing the passer penalty. But, Ken, you got to put that behind you. The next play, you still got a 1st and 10. Still have to stop.
I don't feel like with 10:44 left in this second quarter, in this first half, I don't feel like I'm watching a 2-0 ball game, Kyle. I've just seen a lot of yardage being put up by both offenses. A lot of yardage on penalty though as well, taking those yards right back off and taking points off the board for both teams. Tape now back in the shotgun, about 5 yards behind the center, and he's going to take it, drop straight back. A little center screener, wide receiver give right there, Kyle, and it's going to be good for about 2 yards. It's going to be bringing up a 2nd and 8.
Lance Hammock there again for the Saints. Great job of sniffing the screen out. I like the play call. Haven't seen that yet this evening, but Lance Hammock saying, "No way, Jose, you're not fooling me."
All right, so we find ourselves in a 2nd and 8 here. The Griffins knocking on the door of that 31-yard line, that ever elusive 31-yard line that they seems to be cursed by here on the 2 days post-Halloween. Tape drops in a little comeback route, and that's going to be completed at the 22-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 1st down at the 23-yard line, we'll call it.
All Saints giving a lot of cushion on the outside. Their corners about 10 to 12 yards deep. If I'm Ronnie Tape or I'm the coaching staff of Gateway, I'm taking those passes all night long. You want to bail, you want to play 12 yards and bail, I'll nickel and dime you all the way down the field. Great job right there of Ronnie Tape knowing where they needed to get for the first down, delivering the football on time. And that's what you got to do. Got to move the chains, got to stay away from penalties. Pistol formation.
The Griffins. Takes a snap as Tape, and he right over the middle and in and out of the hands. May have been tapped away there by the Saints.
Nelson Hughes. Number 5, Nelson Hughes, doing a great job of undercutting that route and knocking the football down. I think there's some opportunity to make some plays up the seams. One safety down, you try to get Patrick Fox to go one way or the other, but it's going to be difficult to do if Nelson Hughes stays on their receivers like that.
Tape again. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, 2 split left, 2 split right. And Tape's going to take it, and he's going to keep it. And he's got some room around the left end, but coming up and making the play is a safety there. And it's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards, close to the first down, but it looks like it may be short by a yard. So that's going to make it 3rd and 1 here on the Saints' 14-yard line, 15-yard line, as we find ourselves with 8:45 left in the second quarter. And a timeout is called by Gateway Charter, their first timeout of the game. Kyle, this is a young All Saints Academy team. I mean, this team has 5 8th graders on their team, along with 1 9th grader, 4 10th graders. So underclassmen, aplenty for this Gary Tufford team. They do have 4 seniors on the team. They have 8 juniors as well, but a lot of youth out there. And the youth it's not showing really.
Not showing. That's a trend that we've seen over the past couple of weeks in broadcasts that we've done in this 1A, 2A level of football. Obviously, a lot of younger guys get the opportunity to play at the varsity level. Smaller roster sizes allow some of those guys to get up and get experience right away. So that's something that's very common, not just in this game, but across the state.
So here we go, 3rd and 1 for the Griffins. And we've made a little change of quarterback there, as it's not Tape. It's actually going to be Mitch Ferrer, I believe, taking that ball and going around the end. And I don't think he got it. It's going to be close, Kyle, but I don't think Ferrer got it. He did. They are moving the chain, so it looks like he got one. Do you know what I just fell victim to, Kyle? The yellow line. I'm so used to the yellow line on the TV broadcast of professional football and the yellow line marking off the soccer field here.
You thought that was the first down?
I thought that was the first down line.
That is very interesting that your brain is now thinking on that.
I am
on
conditioned.
That level.
Pavlov's theory was correct. So Tape now back, returns under center. The 6'2 senior. 3 wide receivers split out left. Kevin Hardy, ISO on the right side, and Tape's going to take it. He's going to pitch it out, and everyone's going to miss that one except for one guy, and that's Derek Payne, making his presence felt. So it wasn't a pick 6 this time. It was landing on a fumbled option pitch there by Tape to Thompson, and the guy in the right place at the right time, Derek Payne.
Derek Payne did a great job of stringing that option out.
Not trying to scoop and score, very disciplined, knowing that, hey, listen, I need to fall on this ball and get our team back on the offensive side of the football.
He was very disciplined right there. The Saints did a great job of stringing that option out. They had a guy for the quarterback. Payne was there for the running back to make the tackle. The ball goes on the ground, and he's there to recover it.
So with 7:55 left here in the half, the Saints of All Saints Academy take over back on offense. Patrick Cox out in that shotgun formation. Dwight Drayton, number 9, right next to him. And this was going to be a inside give, actually, around the outside. My eyes. Good trickery there by Patrick Fox. I did not see that coming in a little end around there. And that was Edric Bennett right there, who plays a little quarterback and defensive back himself.
If we had replay, Tony, you would have seen they faked to Drayton and then Fox shovel passed it to Edric Bennett, really faking out the defense. I like the shovel pass because if that ball goes on the ground, it's an incomplete pass. So Patrick Fox just got some passing yards right there.
Gain of 9 for the Saints, bringing up short, 2nd and 1. We'll call it 2.5 yard there, more like a football length. But you still got Patrick Fox 8 yards, 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So Fox takes a snap, a give to Drayton. Drayton goes around the end. Looks like he may have picked up the first down. It's gonna depend on the spot. We'll see where they mark it. No gain at all. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
This is where I'd like
3rd and 6 inches.
This is where I'd like to see an offense where your quarterback can get under center and really pound the run to get this hard first down. When you're in the shotgun in this situation, you've got to basically run 5 yards or 6 yards to get 1 yard in the first down. I'd like to see if they can go under center right here, but it looks like they're going to stay in the shotgun and take their chances.
Would be surprised to see maybe a direct snap here to Dwight Drayton. But it's Patrick Cox takes it, and he finds a hole around the left side, and he's going to pick up 4 yards, and that means it's a first down for the Saints at the 33-yard line.
Giving the football to the quarterback doesn't allow the defense to get an extra step as they are going after the running back. Patrick Fox took the snap and went directly to the line of scrimmage, and give the left side of that offensive line for the Saints some credit for creating a hole for Fox to run through. Looked like they tried to show option, but Patrick Fox was keeping that football from the start.
Official timeout here at Yana Field as the Saints look to go marching into the end zone. They are down and trail the Griffins 2-0 right now.
You look at some of the scores, Tony, in the past couple of weeks for both these football teams. Does not look like we would have anticipated a 2-0 game halfway here through the second quarter. All Saints definitely capable of putting up a number of points, and the same goes for the Gateway Griffins. But both these teams really kind of hurting themselves in some situations with penalties. If you talk to any football coach at any level, one of the biggest things you can't do, 2 things: turn the ball over and have a lot of penalties. And so far, they've done both. A lot of yards in between. A lot of the box score is going to show a lot of yards.
You're going to see a lot of yards, but you're also going to see a lot of yards under that penalty yardage as well. 5:55 to go here as we come out of this official timeout in the first half. Patrick Cox, the shotgun. Inside give, and that inside give is going to go to Edric Bennett. Bennett's going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. The Saints out to the 37-yard line now. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6. Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we'll select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action of this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. I apologize. Patrick Fox. I've been saying Cox. I apologize to the Fox family. Our good friends over at the Fox family. Patrick Fox with the give to Drayton, and he's going to muscle forward for a gain of about 8 yards, 9 yards, and that is going to give the Saints a first down. First down and 10 from the 46-yard line.
Took a long time for us to see Dwight Drayton get a couple of yards. Tried to get him going early in the first quarter. Was not able to do so. We'll see if that momentum and Dwight Drayton can get going here as we approach the end of this first half.
Beautiful night here. Facilities. Very nice facilities here. Beautiful track. They've got the field turf out here.
Rubber track, field turf, great press box for us, which we always appreciate.
Oh, yeah. We've done these broadcasts from, Kyle, you were telling me you've done them from pretty much everywhere, haven't you?
Everywhere. Tops of buses. Everywhere.
Fox in the shotgun, joined by Drayton and Bennett. It's an inside give to Drayton. No, Fox with the keep. There is a flag on the play, and Fox is going to go down, lose actually about 2.5, 3 yards.
Looks like it's going to be illegal motion. The question is here, Tony, I'll pose this question to you. Usually you would pose this
Decline.
question to me. You decline the penalty and you take 2nd and 12.
I would do that. I would take a 2nd and 12.
Absolutely.
Don't give them another down for 2.5 yards.
Absolutely. They're leaving this up to
So it is a motion penalty.
Devin Howard to make this decision on the field, and he's going to try to take it.
No, you don't take. Well, hey, I'm not the head coach, but I wouldn't think that you would take this penalty.
Declined.
And it was declined, yeah. So all Saints now. It's going to be 2nd and 12 from the 46-yard line. Looking to cross midfield, looking to put some points on the board here before the first half comes to the conclusion. Stay tuned because we will be giving you the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Fox with the pitch outside. That's to Bennett. Bennett is going to pick up about 1 yard there. So not much running room. 3rd and 11 now for the Saints.
And this is one of those downs. If I'm Gateway, I send as many people as I can, play man-to-man coverage outside. And whatever I do, I'm not going to let Dwight Drayton get 11, 12 yards here to gain the first down on the ground. I'm going to force Patrick Fox to make a play through the air.
It is Fox and Drayton in the backfield. 2 wide receivers split out to the right. Fox takes a snap and fires the pass to the slot receiver there, trying to hit Bennett, and it comes up incomplete. So after a promising couple of first downs there, the drive stalls right around midfield at the 45-yard line, and the Saints are going to be forced to punt. Nick Hughes coming in for the Saints now to take on those duties. And if I'm the Griffins, I have to like what I've got right now. 2:45 left in this first half, and I've got Kevin Hardy back to receive the punt for me. And we may have a delay of game here.
Or too many men on the field. Illegal substitution.
That's what it is. Illegal substitution on the Saints, and they're going to move that back 5 yards. Hardy stays where he's at. Taking a couple steps forward now to the 20-yard line to receive this punt.
More laundry on the field.
4th and 16. Hughes back to punt for the Saints. Hardy back to receive. Good snap. Hughes with the punt, and it's a good punt. Hardy's going to let it bounce in front of him. I don't know if he touched that ball. I don't think he did.
I don't believe so.
But a good punt there by Hughes, and he takes it down. It is down by the Saints, down to the 8-yard line. If you're Kevin Hardy, and I'm the coach of Gateway Charter, when Kevin gets on that sideline, I'm telling him, hey, you get away from that football. There's no need to go by that football if you don't have any intention of picking it up.
Either take it on that first bounce or poison Peter, whatever their call is, get away from the ball. You're going to learn a lot about Ronnie Tate right here, the senior. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. Both these teams need to get points on the board, so let's see if he looks for if he looks for Kenny Hardy, or if he tries to do something with his feet. But 2-minute drill here for Gateway.
It's Ronnie Tate in the shotgun. A quick give inside to Thompson.
Nothing
Sean
doing.
Thompson with not much there.
Nothing doing. That defensive line for the Saints doing a great job of getting that offensive line into the backfield and making a play in the backfield. And once again, Tony, I don't like the runs up the middle. I like to see trying to get Ronnie Tate on the edge in the option or on the play action. But I'm staying away from that interior line if I'm the
Number
Griffins.
33, Michael Hart, checking into the ball game, the freshman on the defensive side of the football for the Saints. Tape, shotgun formation again with Sean Thompson, and this time it's going to be going outside on a little out pattern intended. That's intended for Nick Dunkelly.
And one thing you do
it's
right
going
here.
to be, I'm sorry, Kyle, it's 3rd and 10 with 1:42 left here in the first half. The ball is on the 8-yard line. Saints defense stepping up to the challenge so far.
And the Griffins doing the Saints a favor by throwing an incomplete pass there, bringing up 3rd down. That's going to stop the clock. And if they can't convert here, expect the Saints to call a timeout and have about a minute and a half to try to make a drive here at the end of the first half.
Here we go, Griffins. Tate barking out the signals. Kenny Hardy to his right. ISO. And Tape looks his way, but the pressure comes in from the Saints, and he's going to keep it. Tape goes up the middle and down, takes it out to about the 17-yard line. So that's going to be short of a first down. And if you are the Saints, not calling a timeout here, Kyle.
Well, I think, Tony, they know they don't like to throw the football. If I'm All Saints Academy, I feel pretty lucky to be still in the football game here in this first half. Could have easily been 14-0 from the get-go. But you take that in the second half, regroup, and see what you can do here.
So on a 4th and 2, the Griffins elect a punt from their own at 17-yard line. Back 4. Oh, was there some movement there?
Well, there's a lot of movement there. They actually drew the Saints offsides.
That's tough right there. So when you think you're getting the ball back and you may have about 50 seconds on the clock if you're the Saints and if you're Coach Tufford, well,
and
get a little movement on that defensive front, and you're giving up 5 yards and you're giving up a first down.
You're seeing more of that.
More importantly, you're giving Tape and Hardy another opportunity at the offense.
Seeing more of that nowadays on all levels of football when it's 4th and less than 5. And you're in a special teams formation, seeing a lot of shifts to try to get the defense to jump offside real quick, and it worked right there for the Griffins.
So a second life here for the Griffins. 49 seconds left in this first half, and we've got another flag on the field. And I believe this one may be another substitution penalty. I want to remind everybody, Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links, great highlights. Follow us on Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playonnetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. Back to Yana Field, 50 seconds left here in the first half. Gateway Charter Griffins lead All Saints Academy 2-0. Tape takes the shotgun snap, and he's going to keep it around the end. Well defended, and Bennett coming up and making the tackle on that one. Good discipline there, staying home and really wrapping up on Tape and making sure he doesn't get any extra yardage.
Absolutely, that was a great job. Great job right there by Edric Bennett. They're going to call a timeout with about 32 seconds left here in the first half. And I was surprised they didn't call that about 10 seconds ago, leaving themselves some more time. But 2nd and 5, still got to get a first down to keep this drive alive. But I'm looking to make a big play to Kenny Hardy right now if I'm the Griffins.
Yeah, 2nd and 5, like you said, it's from the 29-yard line, 32 seconds left in this first half, and they're on their own 28. But 10 seconds, a valuable 10, 12 seconds ticking off the clock there before the Griffins decide to use that timeout. But a great play there by Bennett coming up, staying home, good discipline in being able to make that tackle and holding Ronnie Tape to a minimal gain.
If I'm this All Saints defense right now, I'm getting guys back and saying nothing behind you. Don't let any big plays right here. Try to keep everything in front of you.
Safety Ahmad Bello is back looking as Tape goes his direction, and he might have been the recipient of a valuable tip pass there, but it just falls to the right of him and almost getting the interception.
Good job by Derek Payne right there, getting his hands on the football, breaking up that post pattern.
Well, they're not you're not seeing the Griffins take a knee. You're not seeing the Griffins hand the ball off. You're seeing the Griffins using every second that they can here. It's 3rd and 5 now from the 29. Points being not aplenty tonight so far. 2-0. Only scoring coming on the safety early on in the first quarter by the Griffins as they made a play on Patrick Fox. Tape back at the shotgun. Looks a lot of pressure coming in and stays home for that screen, but there is a flag on the play, and that is going to be Sean Thompson. Thompson taking it all the way up to midfield, but there is a flag on the field.
Looks like they're maybe holding by the offensive line, and then it looks like there's going to be a block in the back by the wide receiver.
You see any more?
That's all I see on this play. Nonetheless, I like the screenplay. That's a play I'd like to see the Griffins come back to here later in this football game.
First time we've seen them go to it. We saw the Saints go to it earlier on in this quarter, but the first time we've seen the Griffins go with that play.
It's going to be interesting. Really using up all the time. About 12 seconds left here. Going to bring up.
You can take a knee now.
Third down. I take a knee right here. Don't give the opportunity. Don't give the Saints an opportunity to pick off a pass. They've shown that they're capable of doing that and taking it back to the house. Derek Payne showing that a few minutes ago.
Well, remember back in the first quarter, the bad snap that sailed over Ronnie Tape's head as well. So from where you are on the field right now, a bad snap could result in 7 points for the Saints.
Still not quite understanding why we're not seeing Kenny Hardy on the field here late in this first half. He looks to be the playmaker for this Griffins football team.
No kneeling for the Griffins. Ronnie Tape takes a snap and he's looking. Goes over. There's that same play, that wide receiver screen over to Sean Thompson, and that was picked off right from the beginning there, as David Lee, the linebacker, coming in and making that play and stopping it. And that's going to be your half as the Gateway Charter Griffins, the visiting Gateway Charter Griffins from Fort Myers, Florida, lead the All Saints Academy Saints here at Yana Field 2-0. A 2-0 ball game right here, Kyle. So if you like offense, and we thought we were going to see a whole lot of that today, we haven't seen too much of it, at least scoring-wise. We have seen some offense.
Seen a lot of yards by both football teams. Actually, a lot more by the Gateway Griffins. If I'm running into my locker room right now and I'm an All Saints Academy Saint, I feel good about where we are. We could have been down early, 14-0, early in this first half. To get out of there with just giving up 2 points, I feel pretty good. We need to see in the second half, if you're All Saints, Dwight Drayton really get going. He's the guy that's carried this football team throughout the course of the season on the ground. You got to find ways to get the football in his hands, whether that's screens, draws, stretches, tosses. But one way or the other, have to get the ball in the hands of Dwight Drayton.
Well, that's the end of the first half of play. The Griffins leading the Saints of All Saints Academy here by a score of 2-0. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. It is Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at
away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
Welcome back. It's the PlayOnSports.com halftime show coming to you from John F. Field here in beautiful Winter Haven. I live in Winter Garden. I almost went Winter Harvin there, Kyle. It's been a night. Patrick Fox, Patrick Cox, Winter Harvin, Winter Garden, Winter Haven, Florida is where we are. I'm Tony Comas, alongside me, Kyle Israel. Our halftime score is 2-0. Gateway Charter coming out on top on a safety there early on in the first quarter, giving them their 2 points. All Saints Academy trailing right now and having a little bit of problem getting into the red zone and executing. Right now, we're seeing a lot of All Saints between the 30s, but we're not seeing them get into that red zone.
Have to establish the running game, Tony. We talked about that prior to the halftime break. Dwight Drayton, 717 yards on the season. He's obviously added a couple more this evening, but he's the guy that has to get going for All Saints if they're going to win this football game tonight. Gateway has shown that they can move the football with quarterback Ronnie Tape, with wide receiver Kenny Hardy. I feel like as time moves on that Gateway's going to get something going. They're going to start to catch a couple of breaks. Everything's basically gone against them so far. They're inside the red zone of the Saints. We're not able to score on 2 occasions, basically because of a high snap over the quarterback, because of penalties that really back them up. And then All Saints had an opportunity to return an interception for a touchdown. They get penalized for a roughing the passer penalty, which brought that touchdown back. And so a lot of mistakes for both of these football teams. And it seems like to me, Tony, the team that can limit those mistakes in the second half, interceptions, penalties, turnovers as a whole, is going to come out on top of this football game. Basically, tie game right now. It's 2-0. But again, if Dwight Drayton can get the ball going, and more importantly, if All Saints can keep the football out of the hands of Ronnie Tape and this Griffins offense, that's the key to success for this team. So we'll see if both teams can limit what we've talked about, and then who makes a big play. We've seen a couple of big plays inside the 20, but who makes a big play for a touchdown without it either being called back or something else? That looks like it's going to be the winner for me this evening.
2 quarterbacks, 2 similar yet contrasting styles in Ronnie Tape, the senior from Gateway Charter, and Patrick Fox, the sophomore here at All Saints Academy. Both can do it with their legs. Ronnie Tape seems to be doing it a little bit more tonight with his arm, but that's something that Patrick Fox hasn't had to do. Because when you have guys like a Dwight Drayton, like Troy McNeil right there to hand the ball off to, they're doing a great job. When Patrick has had to throw tonight on a couple of occasions, he's looked pretty good, making some pretty good passes, but it's either been just a little hair too high, maybe a little hair too short, and unfortunately not resulting in what they would like to see. But I have a feeling we're not going to see 2-0 this second half, Kyle. We're going to see some points put up because both of these schools can do that at any point in time. That's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments with the start of the second half, right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
You are watching PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football live from Winter Haven, Florida. I'm Tony Comas with Kyle Israel. The Griffins lead the Saints of All Saints Academy 2-0, Kyle, as we get ready for the second half of action here. The team's getting back on the field. Gateway Charter will be back to receive. Nick Hughes doing the kicking for All Saints Academy.
Tony, I would be interesting to see what my former coach at UCF, George O'Leary, would have said at halftime in a game that was kind of stricken with penalties and turnovers. That was his big emphasis. It's a lot of coaches' emphasis, but he puts a lot of emphasis on that. I would have liked to hear what his halftime thoughts would have been for both these football teams and to see how they respond here in the second half. But I'm excited for the second half. A lot of big plays early on that did not lead to points, but nonetheless exciting product of football to watch here in Winter Haven, Florida. I almost said Winter Haven High School. Winter Haven, Florida. Not
That's
too bad
right.
of a drive from Orlando.
Was not a bad drive at all. Speaking of drive, Nick Hughes looks like a little pooch kick, and it's fielded at the 29-yard line by the Griffins and taken back to the 41-yard line. So good field position, a good place to start there. Taken back there by Freddie Hernandez, the sophomore. As he sets up Ronnie Tate, Sean Thompson, Kenny Hardy, and the Griffins offense. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line as we just started the third quarter here. I'm Tony Comas, alongside me, Kyle Israel, broadcasting live from Yana Field here on Play on Sports, playonsports.com. Ronnie Tate, the senior, gets a snap, and it's a inside give to Sean Thompson, who's going to find not much room there at all. There might have been a fumble. Maybe not. It is going to be second down. I see the two fingers up in the air. The Griffins maintain possession there. Sean Thompson, not much room to run there. Good job by the defensive front four for the Saints right there.
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but there's no room inside to run against the Saints defense. Got to get on the edge, got to get on the perimeter, find ways to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers on the outside.
Matchup right here to watch. Edric Bennett in that defensive back position. Ronnie Tate takes a snap, and that's what I was just talking to you about. You had Bennett matched up with Mitch Ferrer, the senior. Two great athletes right there. Ferrer with a good throw, good inside throw there by Ronnie Tate, catching him on, is that a little post pattern right there, Kyle?
A little post pattern. They had the wheel. It's basically a little dig, drag, little combination with a post over top and the wheel route on the outside. Look for Ronnie Tate to come back to that wheel route. It opened up here down on the close side of the field, and I think that's something they're going to be hit later on this game.
It will. Ronnie Tate now has his Griffins on the 38-yard line, first down, and it's an inside give to Sean Thompson, and that's going to go nowhere. It's actually going to net about a 3-yard loss there. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and long, 2nd and 12 situation for the Griffins, who have struggled mightily trying to run the ball, but they're not giving up. They're still trying to establish that running game in the middle.
We're going to find out. You don't want to run at the Locke brothers and Spencer and Duncan Locke there on the defensive line for the Saints. I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to sound like a broken record. There is no room to run the football inside if you're the Griffins. Get on the edge.
Well, you've got this. You've got the speed. Thompson's got the speed to do that. You've also got a quarterback that can do it as well in Ronnie Tate. So we're going to see Kenny Hardy isolated on the left side, and that's what Ronnie Tate sees. A great matchup, and you know who's there. It's a great battle there. You know what? You're going to put your best athlete on one side of the football field. So are we. And ours is Dwight Drayton right there, and he comes down and makes a great play defending that pass to Kenny Hardy.
Seeing a new formation for this offense, a trips formation to the right, 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 wide receiver to the left. You did not see much of that in the first half. Saw a lot of 2-by-2. You go 3-by-1, it puts a lot of pressure on the Saints defense to be able to cover all 3 guys on this right side of the field. You got to bring the safety over. That's going to leave a one-on-one matchup with Kenny Hardy up top.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm just wondering why we haven't seen much of Kenny Hardy, and when we have, it's simply, okay, Kenny, run to the goal line and back. Ronnie Tate, it's another screen setup, and that's blown up by the Saints. Number 8, Lance Hammock, right there to gobble that one up. And that's going to be a big loss there for the Saints, and that's going to result in a 4th and looks like about 10 yards, 4th and 20.
Lance Hammock has played great tonight, Tony. He sniffs that screen out again. I don't mind that play call right there. Been a little while since you've run the screen, but this Saints defense is ready for the screen. That might have been something they've seen on film this past week and looked at during practice, and they've done a great job of executing and making sure that the Griffins haven't been able to use that to gain yards.
4th and 18 now. Here's the punt by the Griffins. Back to receive that is Bennett, and Bennett makes the catch pretty close there to being
kick catch
interference, but no flag on the play.
You'd like to see.
Did Bennett give the fair catch signal?
Like to see Edric right there go ahead and give the fair catch signal. When you try to catch it with a guy in your face like that, you really risk a turnover, and the last place you want to turn the ball over is inside your own 20.
Well, that's going to bring the Saints offense back on the football field, led by quarterback Patrick Fox. Patrick Fox got some football in his bloodlines. His brother, a nose guard up there at Brown University, Stephen Fox.
So what you're telling me is they have a smart family.
Yeah, exactly.
Up there at Brown University, very well educated, and if you're going to go play football and you're not going to, be in a high division, sending them up to the Ivy League isn't a bad place to go play sports. Get your education, and then hopefully get a great job once you leave.
Well, you could probably catch Patrick Fox's brother, Stephen Fox, a nose guard up there on NBC Sports, who has picked up a lot of the broadcasts for the Ivy League now, Kyle. And, that's got to be great for the conference in itself, being that they're going to get that national recognition. And I tell you what, you've got some pretty good rivalries and some pretty good athletes that come out of the Ivy League, and we've seen that in a few of them coming up to the league in the NFL, too. Not many, but you do see a couple guys come up there. One of the guys that jumps out at me, wide receiver for the Jets. Remember him? His name escapes me right now.
I can't remember. Harvard-Yale, though, is a great rivalry.
Yeah.
Princeton.
Someone in the press box just made sure that I said Marcellus Wiley from Columbia.
There we go.
Must be a Cowboys fan, I'm assuming.
Here we go. Let's see what the Saints can do here on offense in the beginning of the second half.
Fox in the shotgun formation. Drayton there with him. And rolls out a fake. It looks like it's going to be a double pass, and that one's picked off and read perfectly by the Griffins' number one, Marquerio Washington, who read that play from the get-go. Bennett not doing that good of a job of selling that, and you saw Patrick Fox roll back around. I think, Kyle, if the throw would have been over the outside more to the outside edge, then we would see Fox running down the field for potentially a 90-yarder. But in turn, short pass, not a good throw there. I like what Coach Tufford was thinking, but just not executed.
Just not executed, and that's tough to ask your wide receiver to throw the football back across the field and give.
It's tough to ask your quarterback to do that.
Give the Griffins some credit for breaking up that play and making Edric Bennett, I believe, hold that football a little bit longer, which gave the opportunity for Marquerio Washington to come over and make that play. And that's what I'm talking about. Big plays in the second half. That's what's going to make a difference. And you see a turnover resulting in an immediate touchdown. And that's what's going to win this football game. The Saints are going to have to answer on this next offensive drive.
Look who's holding the football right now. Ronnie Tape set to hold for the Griffins on the extra point attempt. And he does get a high snap down, and the kick is up, and it will be good. And that is Greg Preston, I believe, with the extra point. So 7 points put up on the board. That's going to put Gateway Charter up 9-0 on the Saints of All Saints Academy here in Winter Haven, Florida. Kyle, we've yet to see an offensive touchdown, but we've got 9 points on the board now.
Yeah, it's very rare, Tony, to see a 9-0 score in a football game. But all the points have been scored on the defense and defensive side of the ball. And you really want to see, they're faking it to Dwight Drayton and trying to get Edric Bennett on the edge with that forward shovel pass. And you know what? If I'm Coach Tufford, I give Drayton a shot just to carry the ball and make some plays with his feet. Again, this is a time in the game here with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter that the Saints really have to get something going on offense, really have to establish this running game.
So a 13-yard interception for a touchdown by Marquerio Washington as the Griffins kick the ball off, and it is fielded at about the 15, and drugged down is Drayton at about the 20-yard line, 15-yard line, I apologize. Check that, the 15-yard line. So that's where the Saints are going to start. 8:35 left here in the third quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10. The Saints trail 9-0. Here at home, playing here at Yana Field. Very athletic play there by Marquerio Washington on that Griffins defense to grab that ball out of the air for that pick six. Inside handoff by Cox, and that's going to go to Bennett, by Fox, and that's going to go to Bennett for about 8 yards. I'm sorry, 5 yards on that play, so it's going to be a second and about 6. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5 for the Saints.
And that's what I like seeing, getting the balls in the running back's hands on first down. You gain 6 yards, 5 yards, and that leaves you at 2nd and 5. That gives you an opportunity to really start building some momentum. and really start moving the football here while keeping it out of the hands of this Griffins offense.
Fox in the shotgun. Bennett to his right, Drayton to his left. Single wide receiver out left, and it's an inside give, and that's going to go to Bennett, who's going to pick up about 2, taking it out to the 23-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and 4. 7.5. We're midway through this third quarter. 9-0 Gateway Charter over All Saints Academy. The offense. Kyle, your thoughts on Patrick Fox and the play calling as far as him coming to the sideline every play and getting the offensive play calls from Coach right there, Coach Tufford?
I don't mind it so much at the high school level. It's really hard as far as time constraints are concerned to get a lot of signals into the game, so I don't mind it a whole lot.
Fox takes a snap, and this one looks like he's going to be passing, and a great move rolling out opposite way to the right side, to his right side, and that's going to be complete to Bennett, and Bennett breaking tackles, lumbering all the way up to the 34, and that's going to result in a first down there for Edric Bennett.
I don't think I've ever broadcasted or seen a football game where you've seen so many misdirectional screens. Both these teams trying to utilize the screens to gain yards, and right there, Patrick Fox does a great job keeping the play alive with his legs, waits to bait the cornerback up to come and tackle him, and when the cornerback came up, he went ahead and dumped that ball over to Edric Bennett. But a great play call, get you out of the green zone, and get you a first down.
Official timeout here at Yana Field. So the Saints moving, picking up their first down of the second half as they trail Gateway Charter 9-0. 6:32 left here in the third quarter. Kyle, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Earlier on in the season, we did a game over at Lakeland Christian, and just the support that they get from their fan base, from the attendees, the enrollees at the school. They were able to put together a beautiful stadium, beautiful facilities. We saw the field turf. Well, we see the same thing here at All Saints Academy as well. A lot of support going into all of the facilities, not just football, but it's amazing what we can see here on this level.
Multi-purpose facilities are really the direction that a lot of high school athletic teams are moving in. You see that this is painted for a soccer field, a lacrosse field, and it's great to see here at the high school level. And back in my playing days in high school and in college, I loved playing on this surface.
Patrick Fox with the give. Little misdirection there from Bennett, and then going to Drayton, and Drayton not much room there at all. That's going to be a loss of about 8 yards. So, that's a chance you take when you're lining up with both your running backs and your quarterback 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, is that if your offensive line can't hold, then you're looking at a loss every single play.
Give credit to Jason Murray right there for the Gateway Griffins of getting into the backfield and bringing down Drayton, not allowing him to escape. But like you said, Tony, when you're in the shotgun and you're doing a lot of misdirection from the shotgun, it gives the defense an opportunity to get into the backfield if you can't sustain a line of scrimmage and make a play. And that's what the Griffins have done thus far in the running game. And that's why I think you're seeing these teams go to a lot of misdirectional screens here in this football game this evening.
So we're looking at a long 1st and 17. It's going to be 2nd and 17, unless I missed a penalty. The chains do show second, so it is 2nd and 17 after that 6-yard, 7-yard loss in the backfield. Good penetration there by the Griffins, like you're saying, Kyle. And we're going to see what the Saints can do now, finding themselves in some 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
It's an interesting time of the game to burn a timeout and to leave the rest of your offense out there on the field. It looks like the Saints are going to try to break this huddle before the Griffins are back on the field, which they are. The timeout's not over, a timeout that they called. So not really sure about the decision to call a timeout right there, but nonetheless, Patrick Fox has the offense back out there ready to go. And I think at some point on this drive, if you don't get a first down here on 3rd down, could bring up another opportunity for a screenplay. But I'd look for misdirection, getting a receiver out into the flat, getting Edric Bennett out into the flat. I don't foresee them just running up the middle with Drayton right here on this 2nd down and 17 play.
Fox in the shotgun formation, tight end in motion, and it takes the snap, rolling out to his left, and not much room there at all. Actually, no room there at all. and Fox goes down. And that's going to go down in the books as a sack and a loss of about 3 yards on the play, 4 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 21. So the chains are moving in the wrong direction for the Saints as they're finding themselves deeper and deeper in their own territory, getting closer to their own red zone. So
great coverage right there by the Griffins defense. And again, if you're the All Saints Academy Saints, you can't get behind the chains with your style of offense. You're the type of offense that has to move the ball 3, 4, 5 yards a clip to get some momentum. And when you get behind the chains, really with your lack of passing game, it makes it difficult to convert first downs.
That it does. 4:35 left here in the third quarter. 3rd and 20 from their own 22 are the Saints. Bennett, Drayton, and Fox.
Look for some sort of screen here.
Shotgun formation. Fox takes it. It's a fake over to Drayton, and Fox rolling out right, and he is met hard. And that was Kenny Hardy on the play right there. But there is a flag on the field. So we're going to see, and that flag coming from the general direction of where there's usually a holding penalty, and that's what it will be. So holding on the Saints, and yeah, if you are the Griffins, you go ahead and decline that one because they essentially lost 10 yards on the play regardless. So it is going to be a 4th down. Sorry, Kyle. It is going to be 4th down, and we'll call it Winter Garden, the distance to Winter Garden from Winter Haven. It's a long one.
You know what, Tony? I understand that you put them in 4th down, but the way that this game has gone, I almost, in that situation, back them up 10 more yards to their own 4-yard line, force them to punt it out of the back of their end zone because they haven't showed that they can deliver the football down the field. But nonetheless, I think the right decision right there to go ahead and force the punt.
Nelson Hughes, the junior punter, takes the snap, been doing a good job tonight, and doesn't disappoint on this one. From his own 5 and kicks it out to the 43, and that's going to be Kenny Hardy who's taking it. He's got tons of room, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 10-yard line, 11-yard line for the Griffins. So that's what Kenny Hardy does, and that's what he does best is take his punt returning and those go routes, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is going to be interesting. In the first half, the Griffins were inside the red zone a number of times, had opportunity to score, and weren't able to put the football in the end zone. Let's see if they took what they learned at halftime, learned from their mistakes in the first half to see if they can convert on basically first down and 12 yards to the end zone. You can still get a first down at the 2-yard line.
Tape, shotgun, and he's going to keep it, but a lot of penetration there. And that's going to be a sack for Derek Payne. Derek Payne making Ronnie Tape feel the pain right there. And that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 18. Just saw Ronnie Tape running over, and he's getting his plays called in by the coach there on the sideline. So Tape coming back in.
That's what you saw. That's what I'm talking about in the first half. You got 1st and 10. All of a sudden you're in 1st and 17, 1st and 18. Those are the things that you cannot do once you get in the red zone. And ultimately could take you out of field goal range.
Yeah, we've got a 2nd and about 7, 8 yards, 2nd and 18. And Tape, under pressure again, loses the football, and it's going to be picked up by one of the offensive linemen there. Fortunately for the Griffins, they still have possession. But I tell you what the Saints said defensive-wise was what you can do, Griffins, we can do just as well. Moving the ball, moving the Griffins back, Kyle.
That was a big opportunity right there for a turnover for the Saints. They were not able to come up with it, but again, very stout inside of their red zone and brings up a 3rd and long here. Again, I mentioned before, they can still get a first down inside the 2-yard line, but you're going the wrong way if you're the Griffins. I want to see if you can get a big play here, and I just can't figure out why we're not seeing Kenny Hardy in this situation.
Well, here comes the blitz right there by the linebacker as Tate pitches it outside, but a great tackle there made by Lance Hammock. Again, a name we've been calling a lot tonight, Lance Hammock. And he makes another play, and that's another loss of about another 8 yards. So on a 3rd and 20, it's going to result in a 4th and 28, and that's pretty much taken them out of taking the decision of going for a field goal out of their hands. It would be a long one if they do. 33. It would be a 50-yard attempt, and I just don't see them trying that.
Ronnie Tape was trying to plead his case for a horse collar, but I think the referee did a great job of not calling that. And now
Now you're going to see Kenny Hardy in the game. So watch Ronnie tape. Kenny Hardy isolated out there. Drayton covering him on that left side. And it's going to be 3 wide receivers to the right. But Tape's going to fake that he's keeping, and he throws it over the middle, and no room there at all. A good job there by the Saints defense. And Patrick Fox coming in and playing that safety position and really giving no opportunity for the receiver to come down with that football.
Big stops for the Saints football team. They need to be able to answer here as you wind down to about 1 minute left in the third quarter. Let's see if they can get something going here on offense. This is a time of game where you start to be able to count your possessions. It feels like with the way this game has been going that the Saints will only have 2, 3, maybe 4 more possessions in this football game. So you got to get something going here. And if you don't score, you at least got to change the field position because basically they've been backed up on their side of the 50 for most of this football game.
That they have. Saints coming back out on offense. A little breathing room for them as they start 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, down 9-0. And looks like a little confusion on the Saints sideline as they have to burn another timeout, a second timeout here of the second half. Decisions that could come into play in a fourth quarter. I mean, this is still a close ball game, Kyle. It's 9-0 right now. I know we've got a minute, just a little bit over a minute left in the third quarter. The Saints have the football. I'm just trying to figure out maybe there's some communication errors, some personnel.
Could be alignment. Still really confused why this Saints' entire offense isn't coming over to the numbers. You have that option to do that in high school. The coaches can come out to the numbers on a timeout. The team can come over to the numbers. And again, basically what you're doing is just calling a timeout to call another play, really. And it's hard to figure out, not to mention you're running Patrick Fox basically back and forth almost 60, 70 yards to get the next play.
Conditioning not an issue for Patrick Fox. You see him playing both on the offensive side of the football, the defensive side of the football, and mixing in some 40-yard sprints in between plays. Movement there on the line for the Griffins. Is that's gonna be? Looks like it could be a
false start on the Saints is what it looks like, and I've seen a couple of false starts here tonight that haven't been called, really letting these teams play this
neutral.
evening.
I don't know if he didn't get into that neutral zone. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll let the Stripes figure that one out. But this one, I see the Saints marching back.
I have to be careful what I say. I have a referee sitting right next to me.
And it is going to be a false
I need to make sure I'm saying the right things.
It is a false start, Kyle. That's going to result in 5 yards against All Saints Academy, and that's going to give them a 1st and 15 from the 28-yard line.
Mr. Official nodded when I said false start, so I felt a little bit better about it when I made that call.
Well, a good call it was, resulting there for you, Kyle. You got the assist from the official sitting to your right. Saints need to put some points up on the board here, something they've failed to do so far in nearly through 3 quarters right now, and that's Fox taking the shotgun snap and no room there as a lot of penetration comes through the middle, trying to find a hole there, a hole that didn't exist, plugged up by the Griffins' defensive tackles. So it's going to be a 2-yard loss, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 17 now. Kyle, I bet if we looked at the stats for the third quarter, I think both teams would be resulting in negative yardage in the offensive side of the football.
It's definitely a possibility. And one that you would expect to see after the first half and everything they went through as far as penalties are concerned. You wouldn't expect to see that here in the second half, but you also got to consider that these teams have basically been really beating the games that they've won have really just outscored the other teams by a lot, and sometimes in tight games you can't afford to do what you can do in games that are out of contention in the second half.
Fox taking the snap, and that one's going to be a low snap, but he picks it back up and falls on it. So a heads-up play there because nothing was going to be made of that football if Patrick would have been able to pick it up. The defensive line was there, and a smart play, but it's going to be now another 4th and forever for the Saints. 3rd and 28, 3rd and 30, right around there, and the ball's going to be at the 10-yard line. We're at the end of the third quarter. Gateway Charter leads 9-0 over the home team, the All Saints Academy. The Saints from All Saints Academy here. When we come back on PlayOnSports.com, we'll be interviewing athletic director here for All Saints Academy, Steve Canlin. asking him about, obviously the facilities, the season so far, asking about a couple of the other sports that they've got here at All Saints Academy.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that interview up to you, Tony. We got something in mind.
All right. That is playonsports.com. It's the end of the third quarter. When we come back, it'll be the final and fourth quarter. So stay tuned right here on playonsports.com. Welcome back to playonsports.com. It is the fourth quarter here at Yana Field. All Saints Academy trails the Gateway Charter Griffins 9-0. All Saints Academy facing a 3rd and 28, and Patrick Fox taking the snap, finding a small hole, getting a little bit of room there down the right side, keeping it, looking to just get some room for his punter to make sure that he's not in the end zone when he's going to get that punt off. Hughes being the punter there for All Saints. So 4th and 23, there is a player down on the field for the Griffins. Slowly making his way back up. That was Freddie Hernandez, the sophomore. Looks to be fine as he jogs off the football field.
I'll tell you what, Tony. The Saints are going to be forced to punt here, and I would try a directional punt, if possible, and kick it away from Kenny Hardy, because every time he's touched the football in the punt return game, he's returned the ball basically inside the red zone.
If I'm Nelson Hughes, I'm kicking it to the sidelines, the left sideline, the right sideline. I'm making sure that this is one that Kenny Hardy can't field, because if he's going to be getting it, Nelson Hughes takes the snap and he gets a good one off, but it's right at Hardy. But Hardy puts it on the ground, able to pick it back up, surveying the field, waiting for his blockers. He's still at the 50, cutting it upfield, and he's at the 40, 45. He's at the 30. One man to beat, Kenny Hardy, and he's dragging the defender. That was the kicker, Nelson Hughes, and that's probably one of the most interesting tackles I have seen in all my play-by-play history, which, by the way, isn't that long. But Nelson Hughes with a great, and I won't say shoestring tackle, I'll say shirt-tail tackle of Kenny Hardy in preventing the touchdown.
Reminds me of a movie that I watched growing up called Little Giants, where they had the big running back who basically just dragged everybody around. I think there was a scene in that movie where they were dragging a guy by his jersey, but you got to give a lot of credit to Nelson Hughes right there for hanging on and saving the touchdown.
I tell you who you got to give credit to. Whoever made these jerseys for All Saints Academy, because it didn't even rip. Because if that jersey rips, that's a touchdown, Kyle. So the Griffins, in, once again, excellent field position. They're starting in the red zone.
Wildcat formation.
And Mitch Ferrer is going to be taking the snap now, and he's going to keep the ball. I tell you, this Ferrer kid is big, and that's going to be a touchdown. Keeper right there. Looks like a zone read option there, Wildcat formation, and Ferrer takes it in from about 12 yards out. So put a touchdown on the board for the visiting team, and they now are up 15-0. If you are All Saints Academy, Kyle, if you can block an extra point here, even if you don't, you're still only down 2 scores.
2 scores and 2 scores. Scoring has been hard to come by for the Saints this evening. You got to give a lot of credit to the Griffins. A 2-5 team are playing very well tonight so far.
I like the call there with Mitch Ferrer taking that one in. A different look. We've seen it only once before in the game, as the extra point is good, and that's going to make the score 16-0 Gateway Charter over All Saints Academy. But a good call there, I think. Ronnie Tate not being able to put the football in the end zone so far this football game, as he's every time the Griffins have entered the red zone. So they're going with a different look, and it works. And Herrera able to do that for the Griffins and gets the touchdown. So we are broadcasting live, and I want to remind everybody that Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. You can follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Griffins set to kick.
Let's get it started. It's playing here in this stadium, and that's exactly what the Saints needs to do. Saints offense needs to do on this drive.
Well, it's Drayton's turn as he takes the kickoff, and he takes it up to the 27, where he is met hard by one of the Griffin defenders there, and not able to elude him. I would think that we would see a move or two there by Drayton, but he just ran right up to him. Defender stood still, broke down, and made the tackle.
He had a wall there, but the wall kind of ran away from him, and some guys were able to get through to make that tackle. And if you're the Saints now, you got to go 70 yards and really need to you need to score on this drive, in my opinion. The way this football game has gone, you need to have some positive yards. You need to build a little bit of momentum for this offense, gain some confidence for Patrick Fox, for Dwight Drayton, in this Saints offense. And this is a time of the game where something has to happen, or it could get ugly pretty quick here.
So the Saints come out on offense. Patrick Fox looking to get some first downs and resulting in touchdowns for the Saints. And there's some movement, and that's going to be on Hardy, I think. It looked like Kenny Hardy moved first. There was a flag, so they let the play go on. Not much resulting there as far as the pitch to the left side. So depending on what the flag is going to be, it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Doesn't look like they
didn't throw the flag on that.
A little bit confused about that.
Kenny Hardy and the wide receiver out here on this side
engaged,
and then they both stared at each other, looked at the ref, and pointed at each other.
Well,
and the ref let the play go on. So I missed the call.
Got to get some yards here. Got to get at least 5 yards, in my opinion, Tony, right here, if they want to be able to get a first down in the next 2 plays.
Yeah, it's been difficult all game long for the Saints, finding themselves in these 2nd and 10, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 9 situations, and it's difficult to move the chains and convert when you're putting yourself in those positions, but the Griffins doing a good job on the defensive side of the football. Fox takes a snap, rolling out. The first time we've seen him really look like he was going to pass, and it was a called pass, and Fox is going to go down at the 12-yard line, so a loss of 18 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd and 28. So offense has been a struggle all night tonight for the Saints, and it's not getting it doesn't look like it's going to be getting any easier as the Griffins really, Kyle, pinning their ears back and saying, we know you're not going to throw the football, so we're just going to send everybody at you.
Edric Bennett was running free across the middle there. Patrick Fox got to do a little bit better job. Only had 2 receivers in the routes. He's got to be able to see that coming across the middle, because they had a big opportunity. Had an opportunity for a big play right there, and they were not able to convert. I'm getting to the point where I may just throw it up, but there's no receivers in this game.
So it's 3rd and 28, ball on the 13-yard line. Fox with the handoff to Drayton, and he's got no room to run there as the tackles converge there, and Drayton has really been bottled up all night.
Yeah, he definitely has. The Griffins came into this game, I'm sure, knowing that they were going to have to stop Mr. Drayton to win this football game. They've done a good job thus far in being able to do that.
So 4th and 26 now. 8:30 left here in the final quarter. Griffins lead 16-0. Kenny Payne checking in. Derek Payne, checking into the ball game. And Hughes with the punt. A good punt. Bounces at the 39-yard line, the 40. Hardy decides to take it, and he picks it up, and he's got a lot of running room. And here comes Hughes with a good open field tackle there. No jersey, just breaking down and making the tackle. But the Griffins are going to have a great starting field position, but there is a flag on the field, which looks to me like this could be a block in the back, and that's going to go against the Griffins. So a much-needed 10, 15 yards there for their starting point. So that's where they're going to do after they mark this off. It'll be first down for the Griffins, as I am now joined by Athletic Director of All Saints Academy, Steve Canlin. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, no
Glad you guys
problem.
could be with us tonight.
Well, we've been talking about it throughout the evening, the beautiful facilities that you guys have here, all sports facilities. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, a couple of years ago, after we took over the athletic department, it was one of our top priorities to upgrade the facilities. And along with my facilities manager, Val Johnson, and our crew, we are more than pleased where we are right now. We're not finished, but we're definitely headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the rubber track, the field turf. It's beautiful what you guys have been able to do here. Steve, I know you're a big New Yorker, and everything, I want to make sure, everything that's gone on up there the last week or so with Hurricane Sandy. I'm sure you've got a lot of family and friends up there.
Yes, sir.
Been able to check on them and make sure everybody's okay?
Yes, yeah. Some flooding, to say the least. Some relocation for some relatives, but thank God everyone's safe. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. For All Saints Academy and a school of this size, you have to have a lot of support, and that support coming from, obviously, all the students, the parents of the students, and everybody. Talk to me a little bit about that and that support that you guys have here.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. You start with the community as a whole, but you want to mention some of the Booster Club, the administration. The community at large has really rallied behind us, and we have a tremendous amount of support. You can't do it without community. I mean, you hear the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to build a program, whether it's academics or athletics, and so we're blessed to do both very well here.
And you guys do that very well. Tonight, throwback night here at Yana Field. What is throwback night?
Throwback night. Can someone tell me what throwback night is? Yeah, I know. It's old uniforms, but I was told by the student body also they were thinking about getting dressed up and kind of throw back some old apparel, maybe from the 70s and so forth. But that didn't materialize, as you can see.
I know I'm getting old when 80s have now become throwback night.
Yeah, I know it well.
And that's what it's being referred to. That was when I grew up.
Yes. But this is a good team, the Griffins. We've been doing really well, but we knew this was going to be a tight contest.
Talk to me a little bit about the other sports. As it's still 16-0 right now. The Griffins have a 2nd and 13 from the 38-yard line. Ronnie Tape taking it around the end. He's got a big hole, and Tape still on his feet. Missed tackles, arm tackles, and this could result in 6 for them. But no, that's Drayton taking him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. No, they're calling it a touchdown. So touchdown, Griffins right there. I thought Drayton may have gotten him before the 1-yard line there, but linesman calling it a touchdown, so put 6 on the board. That's going to be 22-0. So pending the extra point, 21-0, 22-0, pending the extra point right now. We're talking with All Saints Academy Athletic Director Steve Canlin. Steve, I know it's not all about football. You guys have a lot of other sports here, and you've got a lot of support from everybody else. Talk to me a little bit about what the other sports and everything that you guys have going on here.
Oh, absolutely. You can start from elementary all the way to middle school and varsity. We have your basketball, we have golf, we have tennis, we have lacrosse, we have golf, we have flag football. Of course, we have football, we have baseball, we have softball. We have a youth league that we run on Saturdays for all our young kids from grades 1 to 5. And let me just add this. Last year, for our classification 2A, we were the #1 sports program for private schools in the state of Florida. And what that means is they have a point system by your success. And so we had many teams that went to regionals, that went to state. We had teams represented in the state with swimming, tennis, baseball, and softball. And I must tell you, for a school our size, that's quite a feat.
That's a great feat right there, and not only on the field, but I'm sure off the field as well academically, fuels that success that you guys are having here at All Saints Academy. The score is 22-0 as the extra point was unsuccessful. We've got 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes left here at Yana Field as the kickoff sails, and it's taken by Drayton, who takes it up the middle, back up the middle, and not too much running room, but he makes something out of nothing, taking it up to the 34-yard line. So Your quarterback, Patrick Fox, has a brother who's a defensive lineman up there, nose guard for Brown.
Big boy, yes.
Brown University, and Patrick playing the quarterback position. Talk to me a little bit about Patrick and as well as Dwight Drayton, who's having a great season for you guys.
Yeah, they're just having a great season, as you stated, but also they're fantastic young men. Patrick Fox is just one of the smartest kids you'll ever meet, just the nicest kid. And Dwight came to us last year from the public school. And the nicest kid, great family, great student. And he's having a great year. I think overall we're very pleased with the direction of our football program, considering the last couple of years have been
4-2 coming into tonight's game.
Yeah,
2-1 in district play.
Yeah, if you look at last year, we scored 13 points the whole year. We were 0-10.
So big strides made, and that all starts with the administration and coaching.
Yeah, exactly. And that was you evaluate, you assess, and you say, okay, where are the needs? And you say, okay, you start from whether it's a teacher in the classroom, the equivalent of that would be a coach.
Right.
And so you start with coaching, and you build the ground up. And I think Coach Gary Tuffett has done an outstanding job in that regard, that he's just focusing on the basics. He knew, a lot of coaches will come into a program, they have their pet things that they like to do, but they may not have the personnel to do it. Gary is wise enough to say, no, we can't do this, we can't do that, but we can do this really well. And so what he did was he just stayed with the basics, and it served us well this year. The community is excited, the kids are excited, the campus is excited. We just feel really good about it.
The fundamentals. So let me ask you,
Yes.
I can't let you go without this, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Being a New Yorker, Jets, Mets, or Giants, Yankees?
Oh, my friend. Oh, to all my New Yorkers, here it comes. Yankees. Giants.
Yankees and the
Rangers.
Giants. That's right. I can't
don't
leave out
forget the Rangers.
Even though there is no season so far, they just
Yes,
announced
that's
today.
true. Yeah.
They just announced today that they're canceling the Winter Classic. But so it is. So it's Yankees and Giants. Well, I tell you what,
That's right.
if you're
Go
a
blue.
Giants fan, you've been happy for quite some time. If you're
yes,
a Jets fan, you're crying for Tim Tebow right now. But congratulations on the success that you've had here at All Saints Academy, everything you guys are doing, and we appreciate having us, hosting us here in your beautiful press box as well.
Well, thank you so much. And we love having you guys, and we hope to see you again.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Athletic
Appreciate it.
Director for All Saints Academy, Steve Canlin. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, sir. GIANTS Giants. 6:45 left here in the final quarter. 3rd and 10 for All Saints. Kyle, the Saints might need a miracle. We'll see if they can do that. I never count anybody out.
Miracle just grew a little bit. 5 more yards. Don't have a statistician up here with us. Kind of lost track of the penalties against both these teams, so that's something we'll certainly look at.
Kyle, we don't say that. Penalty
this
yardage, I've got it right here in front of me. We've had 11 penalties tonight for 145 yards.
Okay, there we go. You kept that, I didn't. So that's a lot. You got to address that this week in practice. Let's see if they can't hit Edric Bennett down the sideline right here.
Yeah, I just noticed that he is here on the sideline. 2 wide receivers out here on the back. Slot receiver. Fox, not much time, and a big hit laid down there by Mitch Ferrer. Mitch Ferrer coming down and bringing the pain. It's going to be 4th and about 23. I tell you, Fox is he's obviously smart, like AD Steve Canlin said, but he's also tough because he's been taking a lot of hits tonight, and you see him pop right back up.
Popped right back up. I like seeing that in quarterbacks, Tony. I always always respect tough quarterbacks. I think that's part of the position that's sometimes overlooked on a day-to-day basis.
Insert selfless plug here.
Yeah, gotta
Kyle, I respect you. You a great career over at the University of Central Florida, leading them to their first ever conference championship in CUSA. I tell you, Kenny Hardy has been outstanding, and Kenny Hardy has been, well, we don't know. He's a little overzealous there, not able to field 2 or 3 punts tonight, but fortunately for them, the Griffins, the ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to keep possession there. Kyle, another missed opportunity. A scoop and score right there was potentially
available
for the Saints, but a funny bounce here, a funny bounce there, and that's just kind of the way some of this game has been going all night for the Saints.
Yeah.
5:44 left, 22-0. Gateway Charter making the trip up here from Fort Myers, Florida. I want to remind everybody you can stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we'll select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Yeah, at half.
And here we go, live from Yana Field. Tony Comas alongside me, quarterback Kyle Israel, broadcasting from Yana Field. Kyle, you'll never guess what just happened.
False start.
Flag on the play. This one's going to go against the Griffins and move them back 5, so a false start. It's going to make it first down and 15, moving the ball back to the 48-yard line. 22-0. Big weekend here. It's throwback night here in Winter Haven. They're bringing back the uniforms that they used, I guess, when I was growing up, maybe?
Maybe.
I think so.
Starting to get to the days where it could be throwback when I was playing.
That's true, actually.
Oh, another flag.
Another flag on the field. And it's going to go against the Griffins. I don't think that this is in the offensive game plan.
Illegal
as the
substitution.
Okay, a substitution penalty right there.
False start. Excuse me, false start.
False start is going to be the official call. First and 20 now. Ronnie Tape in the Griffins. Ronnie Tape's been able to move them in between the 20s, and when they got in between the 20s, it was Mitch Ferrer, Wildcat formation, taking it in for a touchdown. The other touchdown this half, Kenny Hardy. And that's a great catch right there by Devin Howard. And Howard trying to make a little bit more out of it, but he does pick up 15, we'll call it 13 yards on first and 20. So that's going to result in a 2nd and 7 now, the ball being on the 40-yard line, 40-yard line of the Saints.
Great play right there by Tape and by the receiver, Devin Howard. Catching the ball, getting upfield, getting some yards after catch. That gets them back in second and manageable here on this drive as the clock runs here down just under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Devin Howard showing off a little bit of that speed. Says, hey, Devin Hester, I'll do my impression of you. Tape taking the snap, another flag on the field, and a wobbly pass intended for Ferrer. And Drayton coming up and giving a little bit of a hit there.
Just a love tap, letting him know he's there. Another flag, though. Let's see what this one is. That would make it, I believe, 13 or 14 flags on the evening.
The offensive players for the Griffins pointing towards the Saints as if the call's going to go against them. No indication yet. Kyle, can you get some inside information from the official to your right?
I think he's trying to figure it out as well.
Well, I see the Griffins moving back, so we might see. Looks like it's going to go against Gateway Charter, moving them back and essentially wiping off the play, the gain that they made there on first down. So this is going to be a motion penalty, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to make it a 2nd and 12 now for the Griffins. Tape, not the best-looking pass he's thrown all night, but still looked like it could have been caught potentially by Ferrer. And Tape gives the inside give there to Sean Thompson, and Thompson's going to be wrapped up, but not before picking up about 7 yards, 8 yards on the carry. Thompson slow in getting up.
Tony, I just want to let you know there's another flag on the play. Could be personal foul against one of these teams. Personal foul or face mask, but I believe it's going to be a personal foul call against the Griffins.
Sean Thompson.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Picks up 8 yards, but you're going to wipe that off. And that's going to be nullified by an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So march that one back 15, and that's exactly what the referee did. Marched that ball back 15 yards.
Ultimately, it looks like they're just trying to find ways to work more time off the clock here in this fourth quarter.
Well, about 2 minutes and 10 seconds have been taken off the clock. In real time, it's been about 34 minutes. Kyle, big weekend, homecoming weekend for UCF as they take on SMU. These uniforms All Saints Academy is wearing tonight remind me of the boys from Dallas, the boys from Southern Miss, from SMU, led by Coach June Jones. Ronnie Tate with the shotgun, and he gets Ferrer, who's looked like nobody found him. He came back on a comeback, and the safety went in the wrong direction, and Ferrer able to pick up what looks to be close to a first down there as he gets knocked out of bounds at the sticks. And, yes, it's going to be enough for a first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of All Saints Academy. Nice. And Ahmad Bilal limping out there as he made that tackle. And he's going to be coming off the field and checking in. Checking in for him is going to be William Claggett.
Nice catch and throw by the Griffins right there. You knew that they had the ability to do that throughout the night. I think that you can see the speed of the Griffins. It's very hard for the Saints of All Saints to keep up with that speed.
So barring a miracle, the Griffins will be improving to 3-4 as Tate takes a snap and running around looking for some room, finds a little bit of room. The ball may be on the ground.
Looks like it was recovered by the Saints.
So there may be a fumble. We're waiting for official word. And it was a fumble. Tate puts it on the ground for the second fumble of the night by Tate, and another one recovered by the Saints. So if you're the coaching staff of the Griffins and you got a quarterback with the last name of Tate, you may want to utilize that and put some sticky tape on his hands there. He's had a little outside of the 2 fumbles he's put on the ground. He's had a pretty good night tonight.
From what I'm seeing tonight, Tony, and we haven't seen any of Gateway's games earlier this season, but from what I've seen, it looks like in some of these games, mistakes could have cost them a couple of the football games. Their record right now, 2-5, but they have the ability on both sides of the football to make plays, have the speed, but you have to eliminate these penalties and these turnovers if you want to win some of these games down the stretch.
So the Saints with the ball, 3:50 left in this fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 25. We'd like to see All Saints Academy, led by quarterback Patrick Fox, put something in the end zone, get a little bit of points on the board. And Patrick takes another big hit right there, gaining maybe 1 yard, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. But, boy, he is one that just bounces right back up after taking those hits.
Great tackle by number 63, Nilson Rodriguez right there, coming in and delivering a big hit for the Griffins defense. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Saints. And I look to see them maybe air it out here. It is late in this football game, down by 22. You may just want to run the clock out and get out of here and look for next week. Again, as we mentioned in the outset of this game, this is a freelance game, has no district or playoff contention really for both of these teams. So look to keep the injuries away and see if we can get out of here.
Fox with the inside give to Bennett. Bennett lumbering forward, looking for some room on the right side and finding only about a yard and a half there. So we're looking at a 3rd and 9, and I think head coach Gary Tufford is he's okay with running the football and letting this clock wind down.
Yeah, at this point, really having a stagnant offense throughout most of the evening. You want to keep your guys out of the potential for injury. And down 22 with just over 2.5 minutes left in this game. That looks to seem to be the decision that he's made right now.
Well, I tell you, what a good conversation we had with Steve Canlin, All Saints Academy Athletic Director. He's done a great job here, not only with the facilities, but with the community support. We were talking about that. Not just football, but he said, they've got all kinds of, they've got lacrosse, they've got golf, they've got baseball, they've got volleyball, a little bit of everything. Fox dropping back. His receiver fell down, or else that would have been completed to Edric Bennett. That was a good pass there by Patrick Fox, but Bennett losing his feet here late in the fourth quarter.
Not a bad throw right there by Patrick Fox. Put a little bit of zip on it on that sideline vertical route, and again.
Well, you saw what he could do when he had a little bit of time. And that's something he hasn't had a lot of this evening. And unfortunately for the Saints, time is running out, and they're looking at dropping to 4-3. But as Athletic Director Steve Canlin said, this is coming off a season where they were 0-10 and only scored 13 points last year, Kyle. So we've seen a lot of improvement on this football team by Gary Tufford in getting back to fundamentals. Kenny Hardy taking the punt and driving a little stiff arm there. Netting about maybe 4 yards on the return there, so not much of a return. The crowd getting excited for the stiff arm that Kenny Hardy put out there.
It'd be interesting to see how this Griffins offense attacks the last minute and 40 seconds of this game. Do they hand the ball off and try to get out of here? Are they going to continue to try to rack up the points a little bit with this offense? We'll have to see as we move forward, but give a lot of credit to the to the Gateway Griffins making the trip all the way up here from Fort Myers, Florida. Had a long trip up here to come out and really played a good game of football. Obviously, there were mistakes. Obviously, they were the turnovers, but ultimately they got what it looks like to be a W.
Ronnie Tate still in the ball game. Sean Thompson still the back. And it's an inside give to Thompson, who slips a tackle, but he's not going to slip the grasp of who I think was one of the Locke brothers there, Duncan or Spencer. If I'm not mistaken, it was Spencer Locke.
Short game for the Griffins, brought down by Spencer Locke.
So the final seconds ticking away here, 1:10 left in this football game. The Griffins trying to put the final touches on a football game which we saw a little bit of everything. Opening up the scoring with a safety. We saw a defensive touchdown, a pick six by Marquio Washington. We saw some Wildcat touchdown by Mitch Ferrer. And we saw a kickoff for a punt return for a touchdown by Kenny Hardy. Ronnie Tate on the keeper around to the left end. No room there.
Good tackle there by Dwight Drayton.
34 seconds left in this football game. This might be the last, this will be more than likely the last play of the football game. A beautiful night here in Winter Haven, Florida.
Can't ask for a better evening. We had an opportunity to play in a UCF alumni golf tournament today. The earlier this morning, the weather was amazing, and obviously want to keep in mind.
Thank you, Kyle. I told my wife I was in the office.
Sorry about that. But do want to keep our thoughts and prayers with everybody that was affected up on the northeast coast by Hurricane Sandy. But we are not seeing any type of weather like that. It's been a beautiful couple of days here in Central Florida.
We have, and that's going to do it here from Yana Field as your final score, 22-0. The Gateway Charter Griffins come away with a win and improve to 3-4. All Saints Academy will drop to 4-3 on the season. A well-played football game, a lot of penalties, but we saw a little bit of everything tonight, Kyle. When we come back, it's going to be the PlayOnSports.com post-game show. We'll be picking our player of the game. So stay right where you're at. We'll be back in just a minute.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
All right, Kyle, we've reached the time here in the broadcast where we pick our PlayOnSports.com player of the game. This time, I'm leaving it up to you, Kyle. We've got, if you ask me, I'm going to pick a guy. It would be Mitch Ferrer. He did it with his legs. He did it with his hands catching the ball. He did it with his body with some great blocks. But I think you've got somebody or some bodies who deserve the players of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, Tony, a lot of these guys go both ways for both of these football teams. So I think this will include everybody. But you got to give it to, in my opinion, the Gateway Griffins defense this evening, holding Dwight Drayton, who's averaging just over 100 yards per game, to really basically around 20 yards rushing, and not giving up any touchdowns on the evening. And I think that's what really separated this game, or especially early on, was that Griffins defense. And that's who my player of the game, or players of the game, is going to be for the evening, is the Gateway Griffins defense.
Yeah, well-played football game this evening, and that's going to wrap it up here from Yana Field, where the Gateway Charter Griffins defeated your All Saints Academy Saints 22-0. We'd like to thank you for joining PlayOnSports.com's coverage tonight. Friday night football from Winter Haven, Florida. Be sure to check PlayOnSports.com for information and links to all our upcoming broadcasts. For our producer, Chris Barno, got that right. Our videographer, Sean Oliver, my partner, Kyle Israel, I'm Tony Comas, saying so long, and we'll hope you join us next Friday night on your destination for high school sports and Friday night football, PlayOnSports.com.
That's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.